Magical souls, welcome back. It has been a very interesting couple of months, a very necessary couple of months. And the first thing that I really wanted to share was that I've missed you all. I've missed being on here, but I've also really needed to cocoon and figure out exactly what it is that I was going to show up as. And the reason I say that is not because I wasn't authentic, but after I had come out of my September soul intervention, as I call it, I felt like everything around me, as in this avatar, had been stripped away. And so as I kind of try to integrate exactly what had happened to me, well, kind of the year was big, but it all culminated sort of at that little September window. And I only realized the other day, actually, that we're in a 9-year, and that was the 9th month, and it was like, oh. But it was really more of like, I know who I am in here, but I didn't know how this interface, if I can call it that, was gonna come out into the world, back into the 3D world. I had a really hard time just being around people, even friends, just the general public. It was really like, who am I? Who am I, and how do I now show up? And so a lot of what I've realized in that time is that I also, the last few months of my YouTube, I was trying to almost have some scripts and things like that so that I wouldn't ramble. And what I've realized is all of that has to fall away. I just have to show up in the present moment when I've got something to share. That may be a live, it may be a video, but there's going to be no more planning and preparing for me. It's got to just be in the moment. And that scares the living bejesus out of me. But that's where I thrive. It really is where I thrive. And what I realize is that those dragon events in April of this year, when I got almost the information that I was going to do those 3 dragon events, and it was like, I got the information, I knew there were going to be 3, but there was nothing. And I was really so uncomfortable. But I'm realizing now that the dragons were preparing me for the shift, where I had to kind of just realize that this is where I thrive, in the present moment, no planning, not knowing what's going to happen. And that's really the nature of my business as well. When I go into to work with a client or to speak to an animal, I don't know what is going to happen. So the very nature of the work that I do is that I cannot plan. And even as my sort of starting with Reiki and whatever it's unfolded into, where I have all these beings coming into these healing sessions of mine, and this is happening and that's happening, and I'm going, oh my God, like, why am I even here, type thing. But of course I'm holding space, but it's just like everything is just going, and I just need to allow it. But it's even that has morphed into Reiki. Was almost, when I learned it, it was very, okay, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And now I'm understanding why that never felt like I could move in it, because I'm meant to be in the moment. I'm meant to be just speaking. I'm meant to be just sharing. And in the pits of this sort of soul intervention, I was also considering, well, does that mean YouTube has to go? Does that mean being magic has to go? Like, what do I do? Like, I didn't even know what being magic was going to look like. Was I going to go and just work, I don't know, as a dog groomer somewhere? Or it was very uncomfortable to just be faced with I don't actually know what is coming in the next moment. But what I've learned is that that's where the magic is, and that's where the excitement is, and that's what I That's what lights me up. I'm actually motivated by fear of the unknown. So the minute I try and plan, I take all my energy and all my magic out of it, because I almost need to be on that like knife edge of shit, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what's going to happen. That's where I thrive. So it was ironic that the dragons gave me those 3 events and I actually didn't really have much. I mean, like I think 24 hours before each one, I got a little bit of an inkling, but that was it. But I kind of went in blind. And at that stage, I was going, how do I show up unprepared? Like, how awful of me. I've got people depending on me. How can I show up unprepared? But I'm not unprepared. I'm allowing my essence and my soul, my soul knows what it wants to do. It's the avatar that keeps thinking it needs to be prepared. So I just wanted to explain some of that and share why I've been away. And it's much deeper. And if any of you are interested and have questions, you could always get on a live. I think a lot of people have been through things like this in the last year. I'm definitely not the only one. It was very necessary, very frightening, and at the same time, incredibly liberating. It's like, I just do not give a flying F anymore. Take me as I am or don't, but do what you need to do. And I'm not here to fit into anybody else's box, actually. And that brings me to what I wanted to share today in this video. So we all understand that we are unique beings. We're all here we're all a piece of the fractal. We've all got a piece of the puzzle. And if I think about what lights me up and how I best deliver things, it's when I'm in the state of joy and being lit up. It's what I think Abraham Hicks refers to as being in your highest excitement. That's what it reminds me of. Because if any of you tap into the feeling of joy, what does it make you feel like? You feel invincible. You feel like you're as high as a kite without needing anything. It's a very light, bubbly, expansive feeling. And what are we doing here in this world? We are stuck in this comparing. It starts at school where I've got to get better grades than that person, and that person's better than me, and why can't I do things like that person? And so it's this comparison. And this dropped in for me very strongly this morning. And so there is the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, because we are everything that is in this sort of reality that we live in. We know is comparing. We even compare our outsides. We constantly comparing our outsides. That's why there's so much distortion in the world about people trying to change what they look like, and where they think they're not beautiful enough, or they're not thin enough, or they're not, I don't know, their hair's too light or too whatever it is. Okay, I'm one to speak because I'm constantly changing my appearance, but that's just part of who I am. That is how my soul expresses itself. It's very different from me trying to go, I want to be different. In fact, I'm now far more comfortable with my being different than I ever have before, hence the slightly brighter hair. But what I'm getting at with that is that what we don't understand is that we are constantly comparing our inside with everybody else's outsides. Who really shows their true selves in this world? I don't believe a lot of us do, because, well, A, some of us don't even know who we are. But B, when we know our true selves, we try and hide them, because maybe we do that because we want to make other people feel comfortable. So what I wanted to really share here today, and this is as we're going into 2026, is you are not here to be like anybody else, just as I am not here to be like anybody else. I'm not here to talk to the dragons like anybody else. I'm not here to work with clients with healing like anybody else. I'm not here to communicate with animals like anybody else. I am not here to do shit like anybody else. And neither are you. And this comparison First of all, it's not, you're not comparing apples with apples, because you're trying to compare your inside with everybody's outside. Not possible. And nobody even knows what their insides are a lot of the time in this world. And secondly, it is literally stealing your joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. And what do we need to be in to bring in this new earth? We need to be in joy. We need to be in our, where we are going, oh, I'm so flipping excited and I can't wait. And even if people are going, Jesus, you're too much, and calm down, and can't you see what the world looks like? No, because I have a vision for what the world looks like. And I know that my imagination and my vibration and my state of being brings that in. That's how I create it. So no more of this comparison. For anybody out there who is comparing yourself to anybody else, you need to be you. That is what this is about. You need to step into you now, before the start of next year. Allow your light to shine. Step into you, because that's when you can be in your joy, and that is when we shift this world, like in a really, really, really big way. Stop comparing yourself and stop allowing that comparison to steal your joy. We need to be in joy. And I'm not talking about the bypassing. You know me, I don't do spiritual bypassing. I'm talking about just holding on to what it is that you want to create, and what you know in here is trying to come out and be, and what that frequency is that wants to come out and be in this realm, what that frequency is going to do in this realm. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about bypassing, but I'm talking about not allowing anybody else to dim your light, not allowing anybody else to steal your light, not allowing anybody else to tell you that you're crazy or you're delusional. Because I know a lot of people think I'm delusional when I talk about dragons. And I know that I'm not. Well, for me, that because it's me. This is my experience here. And it's very different from every single other person's here. And I wanted to share this because we keep falling into these traps. It's like with astrology and even human design and things like that. You'll hear people go, oh, I'm also a Gemini. We're the same. No, we're not. You've just missed the whole thing about astrology. Is it's meant to show us exactly that there's nobody else quite like us, nobody else born at that time in that space, under those stars, under that planetary alignment, etc., etc. And yet we get stuck in these labels. In human design, I see people going, oh, I'm also a projector with a 1-4 profile. We're the same. No, you're not. So we keep sort of getting stuck in, even in the labeling systems of the very things that are meant to be expanding us and showing us where we are different. And I'm here to say to you, it's time to break. If this is speaking to you and you're feeling something lit up within you, it is time for you to break that program and to disconnect it and to say goodbye to it. And to just allow yourself to shine, because that's what Gaia needs. That's what the animals need. That's what humanity needs. That's what the universe needs, is you in your truest expression of yourself. Everybody else be damned. So I invite you to tune into what that looks like for you. But you've got to be in your joy. You've got to be in your joy. And I know that out there it's very dark and it's very disturbing. But if we get sucked down into that, we can't be the light. We can't be the ripple, because we're not going to change anything. You know, I used to think that by not sort of wanting to hear about what was going on with animals was almost like bypassing. But what I realized is every time I did hear about something that was going on about the animals, how it would just suck, again, the joy and the life, the hope, the light out of me. And then what good am I to the animals? How do I bring people together and we go on events together where we literally just by us going there with intention, with our imagination, and with our joy, and with our light, and with our soul's purest expression, we are able to shift things. Because remember that form follows energy, not the other way around. We change here, and then the outer world changes. When we change our energy field, we can heal disease. We don't heal the disease and then our energy shifts. No. So by you being in this joyful energy is then the thing that has to precede the shift in the outer world. And I wanted to just come on today to remind you of that. And this is not bypassing. If you're down, you need to be down. Being down is okay, because we've all got ebbs and flows, and that's fine. And we've all got these energy waves coming to us all the time. But when you wallow and when you stay there, that is when you are causing your own suffering. So what I wanted to invite you again today is, please stop the comparing if you are. And remember that even when you are comparing, you're comparing your inside to everybody else's outside, the masks that they show to the world. Nobody's walking around bearing their soul. And that was the difficult part for me coming out of September, is that I feel like I no longer have that outside. That outside is gone. The outside is dissolved. The outside is is almost part of the inside now, but it's the inside that is on the outside. I know that makes no sense. But my soul told me a month before in a dream, in my motorhome dream, that it was back in the driver's seat. And I didn't really fully get that until September hit me like a flipping smack upside the head. Like, what the hell are you still doing? I told you I was out and I was in the driver's seat, and you're still getting in my damn way. So sometimes I need strong messages. So it's amazing to be back. I'm so excited for next year. I feel like we're going to be doing lots of live activations. There's lots I want to do with the animals. There's lots I want to do with the dragons. I have no idea what any of that is, but I'm just going to pitch up, and we're just going to see. We're going to see where the energy takes us. So it's going to be very exciting. But if you guys need lots of details and whatever, then this is going to be something completely new. And I'm probably going to show up a nervous wreck at half of them, and that's also okay, because I've just got to be me. I don't have an alternative now. I just don't have an alternative. There isn't anything else except the real me. So I look so forward to being with you. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if I'm for some reason not back on here before the end of the year, because the days just seem to be like, I don't know, I just keep losing days. I don't know if anybody else that's happening to. And what I want to remind you of is between the 12th and the 21st of December, the elemental realm, the veil between us and the elemental realm is going to be thinner than it normally is. So instead of getting distracted with all the Christmas stuff and all of the stuff that goes on in December, it's always when the veil's thin. But this year, the elementals will be very, very, very present for those with eyes to see and ears to listen. And so that's all the beautiful creatures that are helping Mother Gaia, that are still connected to Gaia. Those are our fairies, our fae, our unicorns, our dragons, our druids, our sprites, our you name it, all the beautiful creatures that help Gaia and that help us. So if I'm not back on here before then, I wanted to just put that in your mind so that you can open up your imagination, which, by the way, does not live in your head. Your imagination flows from your soul, and your brain actually just allows you to translate it. That's what the dragons told me. Your imagination actually comes from your soul, not from your brain, not like we've been told. So I ask you to open up to that magic. Open up to that magic and see what it can do for you before we step into 2026. even though we know this calendar doesn't work and whatever, but whatever, it's what we've got. Okay, so we're also not here to bypass the human experience. This is what we've got. We've got this calendar, and that's why I'm giving you these dates. All right, so sending you all so much love. I wish for you to just really tune in and find that inner spark, find that joy, and find that light and just let it out, because that's what we need. That's what we're here to do. Next couple of years, we need to be beaming, like just beaming and glowing and just, yeah, we are getting lit up, magical beings, all of us. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to being back with you very, very, very soon. Sending you much love and wishing you a magical rest of your day wherever you are.